Hi, friends. So, I'm back at it again with the foam clay. If you've watched my videos in the last few months, you might know that I currently have a slight obsession with foam air dry clay. It started a few months ago when I made a video trying to use up a bunch of my clay before it dried out. Since then, I've made a few more videos, and I may have bought a teeny bit more clay. Okay, listen, I have no self control sometimes. Anyway, I've got a few different ideas percolating up in my noggin, so let's see how many I can get through this time. Before I get into the first idea, I have a couple of new tools that I want to try. I got this set of shape stamps and something called an extruder, for extruding things. To thrust or force out. Nice. First, we're going to try these clay plunger cutters. I think these are meant for polymer clay, but I just want to see if they actually work with foam clay. So I guess you stamp it and then you push that little plunger to push the clay out. I'm not sure if that'll work or if the clay will be too sticky. Let me dump all these out and I'll try this blue clay. I'm gonna roll it out so it's nice and even. I'm trying to get it kind of thin, and I'll avoid these bubbles. Can I get it off? Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. Clay is just too soft and sticky. Oh well, let's move on and try this extruder. Hopefully the clay isn't too soft and sticky for this too. This says that it's for sugar paste, and I don't know what that is. But, I mean, both sugar and paste are sticky, so maybe there's hope for us. It comes with all of these different little plates with different shapes. I thought this was like a plunger. Do I have to turn this the whole way? Can I just hold it this way and push? Do I have to turn it? I thought this was going to be like a Play-Doh plunger, honestly. How do I put this plate on? Do I, drop it in? Oh, no. Maybe I take this off and put it in here. Oh, okay. I'm going to try out the biggest circles first. And I'm going to use this blue clay. It's still nice and juicy. I'm going to roll it into a little turd and shove it on in there. I'm kind of worried that it might not push down the barrel. What happens if it just gets all sticky and stuck in there? I don't know what I'll do. Let me just give this a push. Okay, so far it's pushing nice and clean. Let's go! It's working! Let me try actually turning it. Okay, so it seems like actually turning the handle makes it come out a lot more even. So I stand corrected. How do I get the rest out? Oh, it's actually not that hard. Okay, the snake isn't perfect, but I think we can work with it. And I have just the idea to start with. So remember a few videos back when I painted this pot? If you haven't seen it, go watch it, because otherwise you'll have no idea what's going on. Actually, JK, you will absolutely know what's going on, but you should still go watch it anyway. Well, I'm going to recreate the essence of that pot on a canvas with clay. Just go with me here. So I'm going to use a slightly smaller circular plate than I used for the testing phase. 3 minutes a phase. And I'm going to use all of these colors because, yes, it's going to be a rainbow. What did you think I was going to do? After fighting with the bag, why can I not open this? What is the point of a Ziploc bag that you can't open? It bent my knife. I mean, it's not a great knife, but still. Please be my friend. Ah, yes. Hello? Come out. Ugh. Why did I buy this? I was finally able to get going and made snakes of each color, laying the pieces down in droopy, drippy rainbows. Turning the handle in a nice, slow and steady pace keeps the snakes more even in size. Since the foam clay is really airy, if you go too fast, the clay will squish down and go through the hole, but it will expand once it gets out, making it fatter around. You can tell the snakes that I took my time on because they came out longer than the others, even though I used the same amount of clay to start. This clay can get air bubbles, so there are a few spots where it's noticeable. However, even though this clay was brand new and nice and sticky when I first started, it did start to dry on the outside while it was laying there waiting to be used. So it was sort of getting like a crust on it, and it wasn't sticking as well either to the canvas or to the other clay snakes. I probably should have made shorter snakes and then re-squished the extra into a clump in between. I ended up having to smear on some glue towards the edges of the canvas. Well, it's actually Mod Podge because this Mod Podge is getting really old and clumpy and I want to use it up. But Mod Podge is basically glue anyway. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that. The Mod Podge Mafia will come after me. I did end up having to squish and re-extrude some of the clay to make it go a little further since I was kind of running out. I pressed the clay around the edges of the canvas to make it look a little more finished, and then I set it aside to dry. And this is what it looks like. You can see a few spots where the clay either contracted or just didn't stick, and there's a few gaps. There's also a few spots where the clay cracked or it just looks kind of awkward. I was starting to rush the process about halfway through because I was worried about the clay completely drying out. I think if I did this again, I could avoid these issues by working with smaller portions at a time and making larger loops or thinner snakes. It really doesn't look terrible. Like, from far away, it's kind of cute. I will probably do this again, actually. But not today. Because next, I have another idea I want to try. Recognize this? Here's a few hints. Yeah, so I'm gonna make a bowl. It's a good thing I never throw anything away, because even though I wasn't a big fan of that kit, this little bowl form will come in handy. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm going to make a bowl out of foam clay. I'm going to start with that juicy blue clay from my test. I'm rolling out the clay. Ugh, seriously? I'm rolling out the clay, trying to make it pretty thin. My plan is to shape it around this form. I think you could probably just use a regular bowl, but I have this, so I might as well try it. The clay shape that I made obviously isn't a perfect fit, but I just transplanted some of the clay by cutting it and re-smushing it onto other areas. Since this clay is still so juicy and sticky, it's really easy to meld it back together. I squished it really hard against the form so that the inside will be nice and smooth. And for the outside, I just smushed it around so that it would fill in the gaps and reach the edges. I also used the little lip around the top to make sure the edge was straight. There's a spot where my smushing made something resembling the back end of an elephant, and I got some dried glue from my paper bowl stuck to the clay, because I was too lazy to clean the form before I used it. But I'm not too concerned with what the outside of this looks like, because I'm going to cover it up. This is just a base. So I let it dry overnight. The next day, it's a little lumpy, bumpy. There's my elephant's butthole. But like I said, that doesn't matter. The inside is probably still wet, but we're not worried about that right now. Because we're going to cover this up with some spirally snakes. I am making sure to really knead the clay and get all of the air bubbles out. Plus, it's just really hard to stop squishing the clay and actually make something with it. I'm starting with this really pretty teal color, and with what I learned making the drippy canvas, I'm going to work with smaller amounts of clay at a time. And I just followed the same process as before, working slow and steady with the extruder. Then I started in the center, or what I thought was the center, and curled the clay around. I tried to really push the clay down onto the bowl base and up against the clay above it. When I hit the end of a snake, I just cut it into a flat end and pressed the end of the next snake up against it. Since this clay was nice and sticky when I was working with it, it stuck together nicely. And I wasn't worried about the connecting spots being visible, so I didn't attempt to blend the ends together. Sometimes the snakes came out a little lumpy, but I just rolled them lightly with my fingers and they evened out. Foam clay is very forgiving. Obviously, you don't even need an extruder to do this. You could just roll snakes by hand. But I have it, so I wanted to try it. I went through 3 bags of clay, and it started to become very obvious that this bowl was not centered at all. As I was wrapping this green, I tried to stretch the snakes out a little bit on the tighter side so that they were a little thinner. And then when I just couldn't fudge it anymore because I was right at the lip on one side, I finished it off with a single row of blue as a little rim. Then I left it to dry overnight again. The next day, there are a few gaps where the clay receded a bit, but overall it's much better than how the canvas came out. So I removed it from the bowl form. And while it was still soft, I took some scissors and trimmed around the edge so that the inner bowl base layer was even with the rim of the outer bowl snaky layer. Then I let it dry overnight again. Yes, we're on night 3 of drying. Now you can still see where the bubbles between the clay and the form were, so maybe I should have smoothed out a bit before leaving it to dry, but oh well. This still kind of looks like a bowl made of marshmallow ropes, so I'm going to varnish this to make it really shiny and ceramic looking. And ta-da! It's so pretty. I love it so much. It's not perfect, but for a weird idea in my head to real life, I'm pretty happy with it. For the next project, I have this planter, which may look familiar to some of my more die-hard viewers. A while back, I painted this exact same planter as Mr. Mint from Candyland. I do still have it. He holds watercolor brushes. But right after I made that video, a friend of mine happened to gift me the exact same planter. And I haven't known what to do with it until now. I've seen these swirly clay pots in a bunch of places, and I know that they're probably made with polymer clay, but I wonder if I can do it with foam clay. First, I gotta peel off this sticker. And then, since this planter's a little dingy, I'm gonna paint it. And I'm gonna use this pastel lilac. I did not intend for that to match. But I'm going to use this paint because I hate it and I want to use it up. I've used this paint a couple of times before and it's just so chalky and dry feeling and it goes on all lumpy. No, it's not a special chalk paint. It just sucks. But I bought a whole set because they were pretty pastel colors, so I can't bring myself to throw them away. So we're going to make it work. I did mix some paint retarder into it to thin it out a little bit and make it less dry for the second and third coats. I also noticed watching this footage back that I'm wearing a shirt in the exact same color as the paint in the background. I must have been in some kind of mood that day. Now, time for the actual clay. I'm going to use this pink clay that is actually getting pretty dried out, so I'm going to show you a trick that I discovered. I bought this big bucket of white foam clay because I thought it would be useful, but I actually struggled a lot with it. Because it comes in such a large quantity, it stays good for a really long time. In fact, it's too soft and squishy. I tried making something out of it once, and I actually had more trouble with it than usual because the clay wouldn't hold its shape, and it just kept slipping and drooping. So I don't use it for sculpting things. But it's perfect for mixing into almost completely dried out clay and reviving it. You just have to mix it really well and make sure to break up any clumps of drier clay. It won't work for completely dry clay, obviously, but it's brought back quite a few that were really on life support. I'm going to use the tiniest little circle die to make a super thin snake. Oops. Well, poop. Let's try that again. And let's be very careful to not get it stuck to itself. You can see the air bubbles in this snake, which happens from time to time, unfortunately, but I just don't use that section and re-squish it out. So I'm just going to stick these snakes to the planter. Okay, they aren't sticking, so I'm going to use a little school glue to help. And here we go. I'm just drawing on some swirly shapes with the glue and sticking the clay on. And this actually works really well. The clay and the planter get covered in the glue, but that's fine because it helps it to stick really well. And I'm going to seal all of this in anyway. At the end of each snake, I either ran them off the edge of the planter, or I just butted a new snake up against the end of the previous one, like I did on the bowl. Then I would just make more snakes and add more glue. I tried to make the directions and sizes of the squiggles kind of random, and I just kept working in small sections, making my way around until I covered the entire planter. I did just kind of ignore this face on the planter because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't really cover it up, but I'll just put that side of the planter to the back. Then, you guessed it, I let the whole thing dry overnight. The next day, everything still looked good, so I varnished it with about 4 coats of glossy varnish. Which was a bit of a pain with all of those little nooks and crannies to get into, while also making sure it didn't pool in all of the loops. But it was worth it because it looks awesome. I really, really like this planter. So next, I have a confession. I actually made a ton of clay items, but since editing takes up a hot second during the week, I couldn't fit them all into this video. But I actually have enough for a second part and maybe even a third. But if you want to see that, you have to give this video a thumbs up so I know you actually like this kind of stuff. I'll even give you a sneak peek. So if you want to see that, make sure to like this video and tell me what you think of the projects I've shown you so far. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.